Off the Ropes, episode 34. We're going to talk AEW All Out show. It's your boy, Mr. Ness and Brett Swinney, alongside of me, the Big Oos, KO Kyle Owens, and Dirt Sheet, Brandon Owens. Welcome, guys.
Brandon Owens. I'm not his cousin.
I mean,
hey,
Brandon.
we're family, Brandon.
Also, I had to change it back.
I'll take you to meet Uncle Kevin too. Don't worry about it.
You missed it, Kyle. On Sunday, I was Stat Sheet Brandon.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
I had to mix it up for football.
It's his alter ego, Kyle.
Right. I understand. I like it.
Yeah, he got me. He almost threw me off. I was like, wait a second, this is football, and I'm like, oh wait, Stat Sheet, Brandon. That's great. I love it. How you guys doing? Coming off a brutal wrestling weekend, guys. It made me hurt a lot.
Yeah, I think I said it. I think I said it in one of our group chats that I think I was getting wrestling fatigue after 4 weekends in a row of wrestling like this, which I'm not complaining. It was exciting, it was entertaining, but after that Swerve and Hangman match on Sunday or Saturday, whatever it was, I was like, yeah, I think I'm good on this stuff for a little bit, because it was pretty violent, but yeah, it was excellent. It was an excellent show. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. There's been some other there's been a lot of wrestling news come out lately too, and it's been. But I got with Kyle. I'm glad we don't have a PLE for about 3 or 4 more weeks. I'm glad. Now we just got we still got the weekly shows of Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and all that. But I'm glad we got a little PLE break. It was fun to have it, but I'm glad we have a little break until Bad Blood. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and
a little time off for us too. We get a few weeks off of off the ropes. So
I just noticed too that AEW's next pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream, is on October 12th, which is the worst day to have a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that's like the best college football
biggest day of college football. Yeah,
the 12th and the 19th but the 12th is huge.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this. I'm going to have to double screen it. Because I can't miss that.
I know, but I guess what Oregon, Ohio State, would that be a night game? Because Texas and Oklahoma be in the day.
Yeah, I probably that. I would assume that Oregon and Ohio State would be at night. I would assume, but I don't know. Anyway, it's a bad day to do a pay-per-view.
Well. They
haven't announced a time yet. If that one's not at night, I can guarantee Ole Miss at LSU will be at night.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's in Death Valley too?
Yeah, that'll definitely be at night.
Can they both lose? Can they both lose? I don't really care to watch that. Give me some wrestling.
Penn State USC's that day too, and Texas, Oklahoma, and Oregon, Ohio State.
If it's not these guys, I don't care. If it's not the Longhorns,
you don't watch other games.
I mean, I can, but I'm not as long as my horns are on, and they're rolling right now. They just went up to Michigan and just beat the living dog crap out of them right now. That was.
But Texas will play at 11 o'clock that day. You got the rest of the day.
Well, actually, this year it's at 2:30.
Oh.
They moved it to 2:30 game this year.
Well, the big game. I mean, Oklahoma's okay. I think we should. I'm not worried about that one. We got Georgia. That's the
next week. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't overlook OU.
I'm not overlooking. I'm not saying. I'm just saying I'm not as concerned about OU as I am Georgia.
Sorry, we made this into a football thing. Sorry.
That's okay.
Back to wrestling.
Let's talk.
But no, you made a great point, Kyle. That's a bad day to do a pay-per-view.
Well, and that puts us, giving us at least a couple weeks off for this show, guys. So we'll get to have a little bit of a break. But this is 4 weeks in a row talking wrestling. I've enjoyed it, but it will be nice to have a little time off. At least the wrestling has been good that we've talked about for the most part. It's been good shows, different types of matches, different types of cards, but overall it was good quality wrestling. So that's at least we're not on here having to talk about stuff that we didn't like.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on this pay-per-view. There's a couple of things that I could have done without, but I will say, let me get this 8 matches. I'm That was okay. It was all right. It wasn't too much.
Don't forget about the 0 hour because we got to talk about that first.
I don't care about the 0 hour. The main card was 8 matches, and everything had time to breathe. It didn't feel rushed like you were going like we had to get all these matches in. Like I appreciated the fact they slowed things down and had less matches. It can work with less matches, TK, and you still had a wonderful show.
Well, and you said got off 12, wasn't it 12 or 13 on the previous card? So they got all. I mean, it's 20 within 2 weeks. So it's still a lot of matches. But a lot of good entertainment. First off, 0 hour. We'll go through this real quick. We had the Acclaimed over the Iron Savages. Yeah, it's fine.
Hold on.
Yes.
Wait, we normally get into. We normally do like a little I forgot what you call it, but like we normally talk about some other stuff before we get into AEW.
Well, we can do that. We can do that first if y'all want to, before we talk about the card. We can do it either now or we can do it at the end. Either one.
It's up to you. But
you want to do it now?
Yeah.
You're chomping to talk about something, Brandon. So go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to see. I didn't know if y'all had seen these things. Did you see?
Off topic of what you're looking for.
Yeah. Did y'all see the PWI 500 come out?
I guess not.
It came out yesterday. Well, I'll let you. I'll see if y'all can guess who number 1 is for the year. Then
Cody Rhodes.
That is correct. Yeah. You want to shoot your shot at top 5?
I can't lie. I was listening to a podcast and I heard the top 3.
Will Ospreay's got to be in there, right?
He's 3.
He's 3rd.
Okay. What about Roman Reigns? Even he's been out.
He's not even in the top 20.
Really? I mean,
really?
Well, because he hasn't been around a lot this year.
He's been around enough for me. He's still in the top 5 to me. When he comes on, he's going to move the needle. I mean, that's.
Man, I don't even see him.
I'm just trying to think.
Unless I'm missing something, he's not even in the top 100.
Swerve's
number 2.
Okay.
Those are the 3 that I knew: Cody, Swerve, and Will. I don't know.
Seth is number 4, and then y'all wouldn't get number 5 because it's
Joe Hendry.
Huh? Oh, no.
Joe Hendry.
Tetsuya Naito.
Oh. Okay. That's New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Then the rest of the top 10 is Priest, MJF, Moxley, Gunther, and Mystico.
I think I would have Gunther higher. I think I would have Gunther. The 9th, he was 9th. I think I'd have Gunther higher. At least probably 6 or 7.
There must be some qualifications like how long you have to be around stuff, because like Jey Uso's 17th, but like I don't even see Roman in the. Oh, there's Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is 51st, right ahead of Braun Breaker.
Hey, Brandon, what did you say? Did you say that was what number was he?
Who, Joe Hendry?
His name and
he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Okay, sorry. I couldn't help myself.
He's 51st, is ahead of Braun Breaker, and just ahead of Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Jack Perry.
Speaking of that, AJ Styles, where is he, by the way? Does anybody know?
50. Where's he been?
No. Where is he?
Yeah, I don't know. But like that's what. Well, I figured there's got to be some kind of showing up qualification, because I don't see Roman. I mean, I'm at 150.
When's the last time we saw AJ Styles?
He had that match with he had a match with someone not too long ago.
I feel like it's been a while.
Was it Cody Rhodes? Yeah, he had a Cody Rhodes right after Mania.
So he's been gone almost as long as Roman, and he's higher than Roman. That don't make sense.
Yeah, but like he was there early. Like I don't see Roman on here. Like Roman was there at Mania and Royal Rumble, and that was it.
Well, he came back a few weeks ago. He's been back since.
He's been on 2 PLEs all year.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know what their qualifications is for that though. But
we should have our own rankings, Brandon.
Yeah, but also another, and the manager ones I did. Prince Nana came in at number 1, But also another interesting ranking thing ESPN came out with today. They named their most influential people in wrestling. All have the top 5.
Okay, Kyle, now you can dance.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I had a little dance session there.
I like that. But ESPN released their most influential people currently in pro wrestling, and I have the top 5. Just shoot a guess who you think they have as number 1.
Most influential
all time for
No,
influential
right
all
now,
time.
currently,
Right now.
Tony Khan.
Close, but Tony Khan is number 4.
Nick Khan, probably.
Nick Khan is number 1.
Triple H.
It's Nick Khan number 1, Triple H number 2, The Rock number 3.
Oh, okay.
Tony Khan number 4, and Logan Paul number 5.
Logan Paul. That's funny. Where's you don't have you got a Whataburger cup.
I got some Prime bottles hanging around.
Let's say we're trying to get that Prime sponsorship. You're supposed to be working
on
that.
This is the AEW show, so
that's okay. He won't probably care. As long as we get the
Prime.
Well,
AEW, we need to get some White Claws out here for Tony Khan.
I get because normally Cena would be up there, and Cena will be on there next year. But I get why Logan Paul is on there because he's going to bring other viewers that normally wouldn't watch. He brings a different audience. People are going to watch Logan Paul that normally wouldn't watch pro wrestling. And he's so mainstream in social media and other areas that he brings eyes to the product that normally. In saying that, I kind of feel like Pat McAfee should be in that top 5 somewhere.
I like that
because he's in that same vein because he had Sheamus on Game Day a couple weeks ago, and rumor is that this Saturday will be former South Carolina wide receiver Trick Williams as the guest picker.
Ooh.
It's not confirmed, but that's a rumor flying around because he played there and the Pat McAfee rub. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think McAfee's been influential in it because and even when he's away from wrestling, he still talks about it on the show all the time and is still like plugging it all the time. I think I'm with you. I think he brings more eyes to it too, but I'm with you on Logan Paul too. Love him or hate him, he brings eyes to whatever he does, and he has a massive following. And so put him in a match, you have all of his followers.
Did you say it was coming?
Pay attention.
Oh, whoop that trick.
We got DJ Bret on the 1s and 2s tonight.
We should have. They should come out to that. If he comes to game day, he should come out with his music.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure he will.
He has to, yeah. But
Sheamus is still doing stuff with Georgia Tech.
With Georgia Tech. I don't know if they will. They lost this week, so I told told Coach King to take a picture with him because Coach King went to the game. Been going to all the games, but he went to the Syracuse game. And I told him I said, go get a picture with Sheamus. He goes, who?
He didn't know. He had no clue that was. That's funny. Well, we're talking about stuff that happened. So we had a Bronson Reed return out of nowhere.
I hadn't finished Raw yet. I hadn't got to that part yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about halfway through. It's fine. Yeah. I figured he's going to be back soon. But because I was going to talk about what Kyle texted us the other day is the hour and a half I've seen Tessitore, big improvement.
Oh, yes. Much better. He was more into it. It was almost like what we talked about, every moment was important. Like he was more enthusiastic on every little thing more than he was the week before. He would have those moments where he was like, oh, but then it would be kind of like monotone, but he was into it more. I could tell. It was a lot better.
You can tell he does his homework and has been studying and researching about wrestling and about the people. Even about Bret Hart and stuff. I don't know how big of a wrestling fan he is, but you can tell he's at least researched and studied what he's going to be talking about.
Well, that's the thing. Like you can do that stuff, and it just makes it sound that much better. I mean, we watch wrestling all the time, guys. And there's some people's finishers I don't know. I mean, every single person's finisher. There's most of them that I do know, but that kind of thing, like when you can actually call their finisher. I think it was Dragunov's move. He called it like a shoulder block or something and he didn't know the name of it, that kind of thing. If you can start getting those kind of things, and you call enough matches on a week to week basis of the same guys, you start knowing that kind of stuff. So it'll make it that much better. But yeah, it was definitely better. I totally agree. Not that week 1 was bad. I thought he did fine. But week 2 is definitely, he's on the right track.
You could tell he was more comfortable. Like in that, and we've all been behind the microphone. We understand, like, if you're, the more comfortable you get, the better sounding you're going to be and the more natural you'll sound. And he's excellent at football. That's what he knows. That's what he's called. In boxing, same thing. But like, it took that 1 week for him to kind of get his wrestling legs under him, and next week will be even better than this week. So I'm excited to see what Tess does.
So Brandon, how far in were you? Did you see the segment with Drew McIntyre yet?
No.
Kyle, did you see that part? I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what happens with the confrontation.
Yeah, I think something's going to happen out of that. I'm not 100% sure what, but I think something's going to come out of that. Maybe not now, maybe in a few months, but something's going to happen.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there, Brendan.
I watched about an hour and a half or so.
What did you guys think about the Wyatt 6? I enjoyed that.
I saw that
opening street fight. I know you saw that part because that was the very first part.
Yeah, I can't even. I feel like the last thing I saw was like a women's match. I think I saw Bret Hart and Gunther. That might have been the last thing I saw.
Bill Goldberg is better than Bret Hart, according to Gunther. So,
that's his favorite. But also because Bret and Goldberg hate each other.
Yes.
Yeah, like personally, they like.
Do y'all remember the old steel plate when he put the steel plate under his wrestling ring and Goldberg speared him and he hit the steel plate and he won that way?
Yeah,
that was one of Goldberg's losses there. But I thought that segment was fine. Bret Hart looked I don't want to say old, but he looked old.
No, he did. And that makes me feel old because when people that I watched as a child look old, like.
Yeah, I know. It's like I almost wonder if somebody didn't know where he was at almost at some point. So he was really like frail looking, like, you could just tell he was, but I mean, he was able to do his segments and everything and he got the crowd pop. That was why they had him out there. So it just,
it's crazy. It's like, he's 67. He's no older than like some of these guys that are like still wrestling.
Oh, I know. That's I don't know. It just, I guess maybe it's the hair, like having that all gray, and he just looked old. It's just hard to believe he is that old. I guess just I don't want to make the reality that I'm as old as I am. I guess it just comes with time, but it was good to see him out there though. Just I was like, is he gonna be able to find the ring? He just looked really like maybe a little bit confused in certain points, but everything went well. The segments all went fine. He got a pop. Did you get to, if you saw the women's match, you probably saw Natalya come out then.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. I know she is coming out, but I don't think I've got to that. I think that was might be next.
Because he does have a little small segment with her.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen that yet.
So,
but I knew she was going to be there, and
yeah, they had the secret mystery opponent, but everyone kind of knew.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
they said, "Where's the match? Where's it going to be next week?" And they said Calgary last week.
Yeah, I think I saw her entrance, and I think that's when I turned it up, like paused.
Okay. Anything else that you guys have that's kind of come up? We got Bad Blood coming up next for WWE. Already got some matches kind of taking shape. I'm interested to see where they go with Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed, sorry. Kyle's man. He's
Bronson Reed is. They didn't need to add the big on it. We can all see he's big. Bronson Reed's just
little Bronson Reed. He's little compared to Braun Strowman, I guess. But
not even little there. He's short, but he ain't little.
I would love to see them just to tear each other apart and just a battle over the arena match. Just let them go everywhere. Just let them beat the hound dog out of each other for 30 minutes. I'd be fine with that. They kind of did that last time, but I enjoyed when they went outside the ring. I enjoyed that part more, just because they don't do that as much as they used to. At least in WWE, AEW we hadn't got to that yet. Though they do plenty of that stuff.
And more.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you got, Brandon? Is that what you wanted to hit?
I just wanted to see if y'all saw that, and I thought that was interesting.
Kyle, anything before we start talking? You ready to go? All right. We'll quickly go over the 0 hour. Said the Acclaimed over the Iron Savages. The Acclaimed needs something, guys. Everybody doesn't love the Acclaimed anymore. I think they need a heel turn. We've kind of talked about maybe they're teasing it. Something needs to happen. The Max Caster's like cut downs are he's running out of things to say at certain points. Now, if they turn him heel and he can be a little, more tough, I guess, and disrespecting people, maybe that'll help. But I'm just not as big a fan. If they were to lose, my favorite part's Billy Gunn, honestly, his interaction with Bowens, but I think something needs to change with them. I mean, this match was just it was there.
Go ahead, Brandy. I didn't watch 0 hour at all.
I watched it, but I didn't keep any. I don't remember it. I don't remember what happened. I remember the main card, and I remember my notes on 0 hour was they couldn't just do any one-on-one matches. It all had to be 4 to 10 people. Like, it's got to be just jam everybody on the card. And so I did watch 0 hour. I turned it on, but that was side by side with football. So
that's kind of what they've been doing. They just try to get a bunch of people on. They had a trios bout next. It was Nice, Davari, and Woods versus Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram.
They teamed up like on either Rampage or Dynamite or Collision too. And I was like, why is Hologram teaming with them? Like, I mean, they have a team like that. That didn't make no sense to me either. So
you just stick somebody random with them and let's go. All right.
Yeah, but they have other because it's them and the Von Erich. So just I
don't know. Then they
Hologram on the other team.
Yeah, Rhodes got the win. They're really pushing Dustin Rhodes right now. He's getting a big push. He's got 2 belts. It's good to see that for him. He's done a lot.
He's getting that last run, and they're going to spotlight him at All in Texas next year somehow.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a marquee match.
Hey, do you know anybody that might be heading to All in Texas? I'm not knowing.
It's still like 10 months away. So, but we plan to.
Doesn't matter. We're still planning to go. All right. More trios action. We had basically Bullet Club Gold versus I guess the Dark Order. They still exist. I mean, I don't even know if they're ever on TV. Hardly. I mean, maybe I only watch Dynamite. I don't catch Rampage or Collision. But I don't ever see them on. I wish they'd do something with the Bang Bang Gang or Bullet Club Gold, whatever you want to call them. I feel like they're kind of floundering around right now and without a story.
Well, Jay White's not there right now either, so
yeah, that's part of it, I guess. But I like to see them do maybe when Jay White returns, give them some kind of push, because right now I'm not really interested in them or Dark Order here. And we had Undisputed Kingdom won the next match. They're another one of those that's kind of without Adam Cole. They're kind of floundering around too. So if we get some returns, maybe we can get some of these groups to kind of maybe inject some more energy into a new feud or something. There's only so much Kyle I can take. I mean, I don't. I'm not a fan of Roderick Strong. It's funny, but it's kind of getting old. They need him back. So, but Undisputed Kingdom got the win.
And who knows where Wardlow is?
Yeah, I don't know either. Is he even still? I guess he's still a part of the group. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but they fumbled the bag with him so bad. AEW has.
They've put him in all kinds of random groups, and none of them have really worked well. The best they did with him was when he was just beating people in like 2 seconds when they were putting him over there for a while. But that's all the 0 hour. Honestly, it's forgettable. It's just guys getting on the card like Kyle. And I'm with Kyle. I wasn't really interested in any of these. I just for show's sake, we want to go over them.
There's a reason why they don't call it the 100-hour.
Yes, it is. But the main card made up for it, though, guys. We got to the main card, and you start out with MJF and Daniel Garcia in a great match here. MJF gets the win, but then Garcia puts MJF out. I think he's going to get a break for a little bit, guys. There was some really good stuff in this match. Some brutal pile drivers. Just, ugh. I don't know. It had some blood coming out in this match. So, of course, it's AEW. You're going to have a lot of that. I really enjoyed this match. I miss MJF. I'm glad he's back, but now he's going to take a little break, it looks like. I'm interested to see if they revisit this feud when he returns, but because I don't know where you do it. I think Daniel Garcia is still maybe not signed long term, so I don't know what they're going to do with him in the near term. But this was a great job of getting a feud started up with not much time. Of course, the heat was from way back, but they did a good job of spinning this up and getting it on this all-out card, and I just really enjoyed it. What do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I thought this was a good opening match because we talk about often how AEW they don't always go into a really they normally slowly get to their best matches and they save the best for last. But this one I thought they opened really strong and I thought it was a great match. Daniel Garcia has come a long way, and you should a lot of times he's a flash with the dance and stuff, but he's showing he can scrap and get these physical, and like him and MJF, that's kind of a clash of styles. But it was a really fun match, and I like MJF started off with a bang. He comes out, has the banner come down, and then Garcia attacks him, and just a really good match. MJF finds a way to win, but then I liked after the match, MJF acted like he was going to go in for the truce, and then he goes for the low blow, and Garcia catches him, delivers the pile driver, and so when you see it, you're like, oh, they're setting up a rematch pretty soon that keep this going. But then you hear MJF is going to film the movie Floaters, so he's going away for a little bit. But in doing that, it also makes Garcia look strong, and you can do more. Even though he lost, he comes out looking strong because of what he did after, and now you can put him in another meaningful feud while MJF is gone, and then when MJF comes back, you can revisit that. So I thought they played that really well. We dog on TK sometimes, and this was a good one, and there'll be plenty of time to crap on him later for some decisions he may have made or his people may have made, but this one right here I thought they started the show well, and a really, really good match and good storytelling.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was very entertaining. It had the right amount of heat for it, for the story that they had told. I didn't like the ending because I'm tired of seeing MJF cheat every time to win. Like it's kind of reached a point where it's like, can he win without cheating? Which I get it. It's his gimmick, but like
he can't win. He has to have some kind of cheat every time.
I mean, I'm just kind of overseeing that. So it's the same way every time. Like the ref gets involved, it's a low blow or it's a dynamite ring. Like I don't know, but I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good match. I just didn't care for the ending. I think that's what I said in the group chat. Like I didn't like the ending too much, but overall I thought the match was good.
Do you know who then the ref should have been? Should have been Trick Williams.
Oh, yeah. Trick don't miss anything, right?
He would have came back in and made sure it was called correctly.
Except he also would have been laid out, even though he's a wrestler that can't fall off the apron. He would have been laid out for a minute. So, but no, the match was good, and it was a great opener. It was a good way to start the card. It set the tone for the night, and I like that about MJF. Like I think there was a rumor. I mean, I guess it was true that Roman, at the height of his reign, no pun intended, he would only end the show or start the show. He wasn't going to be in the middle of the card anywhere. Like, he was either opening the show or ending the show. And MJF's kind of that same way. Like, when you see an MJF match, I think All In, he started the show too, didn't he?
No, because him and Ospreay were like, remember they were like fourth from last, and then Mercedes and them followed it. And
yeah, well, it was another pay-per-view that he started the show. Like, he's in Dynamites. He starts Dynamites all the time. Like, he's okay with going out there and setting the tone and saying this is going to be the theme for the night. And I appreciate that about MJF, him being a leader and doing that. So, but yeah, he deserves some time off. He's been busting his tail. So it does make Danny look good that he got a pound of flesh, back from MJF, but it's not over by any means. And I think we'll have another match when MJF returns.
Question for me is, where do you go with Danny Garcia from here? Because, he's got a, he's kind of now where they end up. I'm sure they'll find something for him, but at this point, he took out MJF. He can come out and brag about that, but it's not like MJF has a friend out there that's going to come take up for him. So, where do you go with this? I'll be interested to see where they go with it. Brandon, you got something else?
Well, and to answer yours, Bret, like, you could probably, he took out MJF and took out a big heel. He could go, he probably could go after someone in the elite. Like, he could go after either Jack Perry or Okada, maybe challenge for a title. You maybe just, you got to put it, don't mix him up with Jericho. Like, leave him out of that. But
Hey, guys.
I agree. But we didn't get Jericho on this card at all, did we? He went on the card, but we thought he might come out and do a thing. He didn't, so that felt good. But Kyle, I agree with you. I didn't like the ending either, and because not only just the low blow, but then the pin was like a weird, lazy roll up. It wasn't even like a fun roll up. It was just like a lazy. But the only thing about the the low blow and the thing that I did like how they told, hey, normally MJF would go for the diamond ring, but Daniel Garcia stole it. I did like how they used that as a storyline, but then he had to use another tactic. So, but I did not like the finish other than that, but I liked what happened after the match.
Yeah.
I hear you, they explained it, but even their explanation, he can't cheat this way to win, so he's got to cheat another way.
Yeah, that's why I wish he just wouldn't have cheated like you said. But
right.
But I did like that they went to he would normally go to this, but he can't.
He'd normally go to his first cheating tactic, but that one's blocked, so he's going to go to his second.
There's a few things you can count on, and MJF cheating is one of them that you can just mark that down. If there's a DraftKings, will MJF cheat? Go ahead and put the 4 side.
And in a Roman Reigns match, you can always say a 4 that the ref will get knocked out somehow. Every time.
That's true. It may not help him when he comes back. He may be on the other end of the spectrum on that. So it may be a little different. It'll be interesting to see when that happens. This Friday, maybe when he returns, hopefully. 3-hour SmackDown. We didn't mention that, by the way. I'm pumped for that. Even though I won't be able to watch it live, I'll probably come home and stay up late watching it. Is my prediction. Okay. Next match, the Young Bucks versus the Blackpool Combat Club. This one's interesting because you've got the Blackpool Combat Club have belts already, but let's challenge and get some more and try to win some other belts. So everybody's got a belt. Hey, Kyle, do you have a belt? I've got a belt. Brandon, you got a belt?
I do.
All right, everyone's got
2
a
actually.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to get one of those WWE College Legacy belts. So those
look real nice. So we had Nigel McGuinness on commentary, which I love him on commentary, by the way. I think that he's such an antagonist. He just says the right things and punches the right buttons and gets everybody all riled up at the commentary table. I just like that. I always liked the Young Bucks in the ring. It was good to see them against somebody else. So I didn't mind this match. But I just feel like that the Young Bucks, I'm not sure who it's going to be, how long they're going to keep this reign up, but with what happened later, this was interesting. You had Casanoli in his swing. That I don't know how he does that, man. I'd be falling out after about 5 swings. 20 times on the swing. It was another thing that I noticed is they used a couple of the Bucks' own moves against him. There was a couple things there. I like the way that the Young Bucks, like, they really talk trash, and they get out there and they entertain when they're in a match. Like they're talking noise, and they may talk noise, and then they get super kicked, and you're never gonna find a match that they're in that's like dull. Like they're always gonna do something stupid or talk trash to the opponent. I enjoyed this match. Like I said, I enjoyed the Young Bucks. I was glad it was a different team they fought, because you get tired of FTR. I love their matches, but it's good to see them against somebody else. Not sure how Blackpool Combat Club got this match. I don't remember them getting qualified any certain way, but either way, I thought the match was good. It was solid. I mean, again, it's tough to follow the MJF match, but I think it was a good match overall.
Yeah, this match was in a weird spot because like it was behind the MJF match and then before the Pac and Ospreay, so it was in a weird spot. It was okay. It was just like it was there, but like it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a great match. It was just, hey, these are good people. Let's put them on the card. But I find it interesting that you always see that one security guy with private party. He's actually ringside security for this match. I found that I thought maybe Private Party was going to come out and maybe they start some of the Young Bucks, but I thought that was weird that he was there. He's normally with the Private Party always, and he's sitting there ringside. But also, so did y'all know who Claudio was before he came to WWE? Like, you know him in WWE. That's how you were introduced to him, right? Wait, do y'all remember how he came to WWE?
Well, I don't think so.
So he came. This, and I just watches that because it's like how far he's come since then. He came to WWE as Teddy Long's love interest side piece, and that's how they brought him in. I didn't know who this guy was, and this guy named Antonio Cesaro, and like all he was this guy with Teddy Long's girlfriend, and so it was like, who is this guy? And all of a sudden, like, he starts beating people up, and I was like, okay, he's, and then all of a sudden he starts getting some matches, and he ditches the suit, and he starts doing the swing, and he's like, this Cesaro guy's pretty cool, and he just grew and grew there, and then now he's come to AEW and has been really, I mean, he hasn't been in the world title picture, but he's done his thing, and he's had a lot of belts, even though it's not the world championship. He's had a lot of belts, tag trios. I think he had a couple of individual. He's had some Ring of Honor individuals, but it just stuck out to me how he's come so far from being some puppet in one of Vince's weird storylines to where he is now.
Yeah, I love Claudio. I think Claudio's great. I think everybody in this match is phenomenal. The match meant absolutely nothing. Like, it had no heat to it. There was no it just was. This was one of the. They could have had 7 matches on this card. They could have left this match off, and this pay-per-view would not have suffered not one bit. I don't think.
Can't leave the Young Bucks off.
I mean, and that's not. I like all these guys in this ring. Like, I like everybody in this match. I enjoy watching them, but like, give me something other than just like throwing them out there because they're the Young Bucks, they're EVPs, and it's a pay-per-view and they need to be on it. Like, why else do they need to be there? But it was a good match. It was a fun match. It just I found myself not interested in it because there was nothing behind it. But that's just
and you knew who was going to win, right? I mean,
well, yeah.
That's another thing that makes it not as interesting. I mean, I guess once that happens and they lose, that'll be like, one of those things that it'll be interesting and have some story. But right now they're really selling hard the Elite, trying to keep all the gold to themselves. And Brandon made a good point. This match was in a tough spot because who was in the next match. I mean, you get Will Ospreay in the ring and you're like, sign me up, right? Well, then you stick Pac across the ring. This is a match of the night for me, wrestling wise, by far. Like this match was, I would make it the regular wrestling matches are like an 800 or a 400 meter dash. This was a 50-meter sprint, but they did it over and like the entire time. Like these guys were going 90 miles an hour, like countering each other. Just some of the things that I noticed. He had Pac's corkscrew moonsault from the top rope to the floor. Oh, insane. Ospreay sold the brainbuster incredibly. You had a German suplex by Pac on the apron, looked really nasty. And just some of the moves that were done in this match were I was just like, wow, they're going to kill each other. Like it's just incredible seeing them go. Of course I knew Ospreay was going to win, but this match, it was on the edge of my seat. It was one of those, like in Kyle's words, I didn't have my phone in my hand. I was watching it. I was into it the whole time. And I'm excited to see, like, I know this is crazy. Throw Ricochet. Let's do a triple threat. Let's just see these guys just go at it like, full blast. I think that could be something incredible. I'm excited to get Ricochet in the mix too, because I know he can go with these guys. But I just enjoyed this match thoroughly. It was, again, there were some other matches that I think were the storyline and stuff were up there. But as far as straight wrestling, this was by far the match of the night for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bret. This was fun. I was also locked in for this one, and like you said, there were some brutal spots. I mean, there was one, Pac did a move to Ospreay on the apron and then turned it into the brutalizer. But the one we talked about Nigel earlier, he was on this match too, and he's doing a avalanche poison Rana to Ospreay on the top rope, and Nigel goes, "Please don't die." And Ospreay lands on his feet, and Nigel goes, "He's alive!" And I popped for that because like Nigel really sold that spot. And but no, I thought this was a great match. It was fun to watch. Coming into the show tonight, you played Ospreay's old theme. I thought you were going to play his current theme, but you played his old theme. But any Ospreay theme is good, but you played his old one leading into tonight. And then, anything about Ospreay, I'm a fan of, But this match was great, and I did like how they showed Ricochet watching in the back, and then also teased it later. They had an interaction with him, and Ospreay said, "Go get some wins under your belt, and come back for this." And I'll get you a title. You'll get a title shot, but you got to earn it first. And Ricochet too is like, "All right, I'm about to go beat some people." So I really like that. I like how they kept showing Ricochet and then teased it later. So whenever that does happen, I mean, we know it's going to be awesome, and I'm already excited about whatever Ospreay's match is going to be at Wrestle Dream, because I don't think it's going to be Ricochet yet, but it'll be something awesome. And I mean, I think I said this I said you could put him against Omos and it would be entertaining because it's well Ospreay. I mean, you can throw him against anybody and it's going to be fun to watch. But you knew when it was someone like Pac that it was going to be, and that they delivered. And you could have put this anywhere on the card and it would have been. And I wouldn't want to. Well, we were worried, and we'll talk about this next. We were worried about the match being the one to follow this, and we'll talk about that match that it actually did a great job despite having to follow this. But Kyle, what was your thoughts?
I thought it was fantastic. Match of the night easily, and I would argue match of the year. Like, I think at the end of the year, we'll look back at this one and see that it. If not number one, it's in the discussion for sure. These guys are phenomenal. Like we've all said, I put my phone down, I turned it over so I wouldn't even see any notifications. I was locked in to this match no matter what. I'll tell you something I don't like though. We got Ospreay, who is, again, arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world. And we are dropping him on his head on the hardest part of the ring. Like, what are we doing? Like that, they are so amazingly athletic that we don't need that kind of spot. Like they can do everything. Take that spot out of the match. Take that spot, dropping him on his head on the apron. Does that change the match at all for y'all?
No, it's still going to be a great match.
Okay.
But
So
But it was a brutal spot.
that was like,
so
I was
we
like,
don't risk breaking his
oh.
neck, but we still have a great match. Like I think it's a pretty good payoff there. But and to your point, Bret, like I think Ricochet and Pac and Ospreay in a match would be phenomenal. But Ricochet just signed. Ospreay's locked in. There is no need to rush this. Let's build up to it. Like Ospreay said, let Ricochet get some wins under his belt for sure. But let's build a good story so when we put these guys in the ring, we already know it's going to be a banger in the ring. We already know that. Like that's understood. So give us something to lead up to it that's going to make that match even better. So,
I'm even thinking like Double or Nothing or something way, even into next year they could. They could.
Yeah, but you said triple threat. The first time they're in the ring together, I want it to be 1-on-1.
I'm just thinking because their styles all like would be.
Well, one day I'd be okay with it, but the first time I want to see Ospreay against Ricochet, and that's
maybe we need to see Ricochet versus Pac first. Let them two go at it, and then that Ricochet beats Pac, and that he earns and he gets up to face Ospreay. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna call my shot that we're gonna get a triple threat. The triple threat we want at All In Texas. We're gonna get the triple threat we want between Ospreay, Pac, and Ricochet at All In Texas.
Can we email that and just suggest? Is there a suggestion box for Tony Khan? We need to start building our own card.
Twitter handle.
Okay,
his Twitter handle is a suggestion box.
We need to build our own card for
the only thing I disagree with on that is I want to end that night with Will Ospreay in the ring winning the world title.
That's fair too. Either way,
but they may wait till they may
all them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Yeah,
I just want to see all of them on the card. I don't care where it's at. I just want to see them on the card. But yeah, this match was. I mean, what more can you say about it? Really, it was a phenomenal wrestling match, and I enjoyed every second of it. Could have watched that. That could have been the only match on the card. Well, and the Swerve Hangman thing. But those two matches could have been the only two things on the card. And not that I had to pay for it, but if I would have had to pay for it, I would have paid the $50 for it.
Yeah, somebody. That's good.
And you talk about match of the year. This could be like one, but I don't know if it is but it feels like the other 5 that are in discussion are probably all Ospreay matches. They're either Ospreay and maybe the Ospreay Swerve or it's either Swerve and somebody or Ospreay and somebody. Like those are the candidates, or Danielson somebody. Like those are all the matches for the matches of the year. So
I don't think WWE has any in the top 5. Personally, I think you could fill the top 5 matches of the year with Swerve, Ospreay, Danielson matches, and maybe there will be a WWE one that sneaks in there in the top 5. But I mean, at least the top 3, I think, are all AEW, which that's where the best go to wrestle. That's what they say.
Yeah. I like what they did. We move into the next match here. Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, this blood feud that's been boiling over with Stokely Hathaway kind of loitering around. It was totally different. And I think that was a really help to it. We talked about how bad this spot is to be following an Ospreay match, having to live up to that. And having the street fight, it just was a totally different feel. And it was brutal. I mean, you had power bombs through the announce table. You had everything illegal you can think of in this match. You had tables, chairs, light tubes, hockey sticks, tacks. I mean, guys, it was tough to watch that. This was a rough. I mean, no, it's not different than the guys, but just seeing the ladies go out there and do this kind of brutal match, like hats off. Like it was brutal. And I mean, they were both bloodied. Statlander got the win. So obviously we know this is going to continue. We'll see where they go with it from here. But man, I mean, Willow had a different look. She came out with like her, not the normal Willow happy self. She Her hair was like in pigtails,
Braids.
braided down, and it wasn't the fluffy, poof little hairstyle she normally has. But there was just some crazy stuff. You had a spear off the stage into some tables, and man, I was entertained. I love the match. I thought it was great at least even following the Osprey one. What'd you guys think about this one?
They absolutely delivered because going into this match, I was like, oh, they put them in a tough spot. You knew they put a women's match in the spot, and I thought they might do it to Mercedes again, where they put her behind banger of a match. They did this one. I was like, oh, it was a brutal spot and a no-win situation, and they absolutely killed it. I mean, this top four, definitely in that top four matches of the night. Just on pure enjoyment to watch. It was fun. It was fun to watch. Like you said, these two women just go at it and deliver some great spots. The Statlander, power bombs Willow through the table, the special announce table. Then they get the barbed wire bat, and she's like swinging at her, and all of a sudden Willow bangs her with some light tubes. We never like light tubes. You never see that.
That's a GCW move right there.
Yeah, and then and you talked about the spear. There was thumbtacks. There was just chains. I mean, they brought it all out, and it was fun match. And then she wins it with she takes the chain in her mouth and gets the submission. Makes her tap out. Like that's where in that type of match, in this type of feud, and you get them to tap out. Like that's it helps elevate that story even more. Is you kind of like, hey, you assert your dominance there, and I really like what they did with Statlander there. I think they need to do that because I want to see Hill Statlander in the main event picture. I want to see her, facing Mariah May or whoever that champion is at the time. I want to see her, cause she's always should have been that, but as a face, I didn't see it as the kooky alien girl. But now as this, if you and Stokely's kind of gimmicky, but I do like when he comes out and says every night is Saturday night, but he eventually I think she'll have to rid of him, but I think they can make her a believable powerhouse, and I thought this was a good step, and I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was. We had a match of the year candidate with Osprey and Pac right before this, and then you have a women's match of the year candidate to immediately follow it. I think. I mean, and as far as pure entertainment, like you're talking about, like it was a death spot. We saw this 2 weeks ago with the match following Osprey with Mercedes and Bret. That was just lifeless and dead. Well, this one you had crowd chanting, "This is awesome," and so much hype around this match. So excellent job by TK to book this match in this spot. It was going to be nearly impossible to follow the Osprey match, but these women did a phenomenal job of doing it. And to your point, Bret, like I don't think it's a slight. I think it's actually a compliment to the women. Like, but you don't expect this type of brutality from women in a match. Like and that's nothing against, like in New Japan, that's kind of stuff is normal. Like that strong style in New Japan where Asuka and Kairi and all them come from, that's normal over there. You see it with Mariah May and Toni Storm. Like there's stiff shots between them because that's normal in New Japan. Well, Willow's been over in New Japan quite often and in that same kind of style. I think it was an excellent match. I hadn't really seen that side of Willow before. And it was kind of nice to see. They took some brutal spots. Those women worked their tails off, and my hats go off to them because that was a phenomenal match. They made a positive out of what could have very easily been a negative. What was a negative just 2 weeks ago, and they turned it around and made it one of the best matches of the night, one of the best matches on the card. So kudos to those women, and they absolutely killed it.
All right. Following the Willow Nightingale Chris Statlander match was a 4-way match for the Continental title. Still confusing when you got the international You got Continental, and you got the Intercontinental. It still is interesting the way they have that. But you had Okada, Orange Cassidy, Takeshita, and not Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe. I think to me, this match is setting up your two Japanese guys, Okada and Takeshita. They're setting something up with them. I feel like I knew Okada was going to win. He's part of the elite. They just don't lose matches right now, at least. But to me, I think that's where it's going. I don't know 100%. I thought this match was fine. There was some cool spots. You had the conglomeration, the two of those guys in the match together. So they worked together a little bit during this match. But I think this is just kind of a setup to start a little feud with Takeshita and Okada. That's what I think, the match that people want to see. Well, interesting to see if that's where they go, but that's just where I think it's going. Again, this was a tough one to follow. We talked about how hard the last one. You had two bangers in a row, and then this match kind of fell. I think it was a fine match. There was anything wrong with it. There was a couple of cool moves. You had Takeshita counter the orange punch, was pretty cool. And Briscoe, he's just crazy. I don't know. It seems like he's on something all the time. He's very charismatic in the ring, and he's always fun to watch. But it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. I just think this was in a tough spot, and I think it did fine. It did better than the women's match of the last pay-per-view that Kyle referenced earlier. At least I was entertained by this match. It was just in a tough spot, and I thought it was okay.
I think this is the perfect match to put in this spot because it is a fatal four-way. With four people that are going to do a lot of things, highly entertaining wrestlers. Okada, he's a slow, methodical, but he's still entertaining. And so I thought this was the perfect one to put there because it was going to keep your interest, and especially in a fatal four-way where any pin could end it. And so there's always something going on. But if you give me Takeshita and Okada, I'd be for that. Takeshita had gained so much steam. Beat Omega. He had some other big wins, and he had gained so much steam. Turning heel and joining Don Callis, and he's fizzled off lately. We haven't seen a lot of them. It feels like Kyle Fletcher is the Don Callis person we see the most of now, and Takeshita had kind of been on the back burner. We hadn't seen him, but that guy can go, and him and Okada, that would be a fun match. And so yeah, I'm all for that because I really like. But so yeah, I thought this was an interesting match. I wasn't bored by it because I knew but like you said, it was a tough spot. But I thought this was the one. Also, I want one of those conglomeration shirts. I really that might be my next AEW shirt to get. I really like that one. So.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This was a kind of a cool down match for me. I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was a decent match, but the outcome was predictable. So it wasn't like I was like you said, Brandon, that any pin could end the match. Well, yeah, as long as Okada was doing the pinning. I don't think it was up for grabs or anything. So
it wasn't gonna be Briscoe beating Orton. Yeah.
No. Is this the same match that they had like a sequence for 5 minutes where they just did vertical suplexes to everybody? Is this that match? I can't remember. I can't remember what match it was, but there was one match where I just sat there. I was like, what are we doing? Because everybody was hitting vertical suplexes on everybody.
Yeah.
And it lasted for, I said 5 minutes, but legitimately like 2 or 3 minutes of them just vertical suplexing people.
It was either this or the BCC Young Buck match.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was this one.
But I think it was this one. But that's when I sat there and I was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is a waste of time. Like, what? We just had 2 of these banger matches. Now we're just doing vertical suplexes to everybody for 3 minutes to kill time. Like, what is happening? So, I think it was a tough spot to follow, not just 1, but 2 fantastic matches. So this one to me kind of fell flat, but I think wrestling fatigue, like I talked about, had something to do with that. And then those 2 matches right before it into this, that really was kind of thrown together at the, I don't know.
Well,
I didn't care for it really.
so Kyle, if you thought this was a cool down match, then you really thought the next match probably was in the freezer, right?
Well,
that
that was my bathroom. That was my bathroom break. I went and took a shower during this next match. So
I had a feeling that you were going to say something along those lines.
But you think I'm not. I literally and I text y'all that. I was like, I said, man, I wish I would have taken a shower. And then I was like, you know what? It was like midway through the match. And I was, I'm going to take a shower. So I missed the rest of it, and I missed the entrances for the next match. But I couldn't do it. It was that 4-way that didn't do it for me, and then this match, and I was like, yeah, this is the down part of the card.
So Mercedes Moné and Akira Shida in the TBS title match. I don't know if I just missed this, or like, did Shida just say, "Hey, I want to challenge you," and she got a match? Was there more to it, or did I just miss?
She won. I think it was like a triple threat. She beat Serena Deeb and somebody or something. She won a match to get this.
Serena Deeb. When has Serena Deeb been relevant?
But here's the worst part about it, Brett. She just lost to Britt Baker a few weeks back, and Britt Baker just lost. So Shida is a loser. Like, she just lost, and now she's getting another championship match. There's no other women.
I think the problem is right now you've got CEO, and you have nobody she has no heat with anybody. They've got to fix that. Like, I don't know what to do, but this is two matches in a row where I didn't care. I hate to say that because I think we've said it many times. Like, Sasha Banks was one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. I don't know the music was kind of part of it. She had a cool entrance. She had a cool gimmick, and I'm just not, the CEO gimmick doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I'm not excited about it. I don't not like her. I just don't care. Like, she's come in and she's had some matches.
We haven't thought about this. We've been wondering what's wrong. Like, what's the difference between Sasha and Mercedes? Like, there's something different. This just clicked in my head. Maybe wrestling's all about your dance partner, like who you're in the ring with, right? Is it possible? I know AEW is where the best wrestle, and I know there's some good wrestlers in that ring, but is it possible there were better partners for her in WWE, like Bayley and Charlotte, and Becky?
Like, her and Charlotte's matches were epic.
That's what I'm saying. And her and Bayley's matches were phenomenal too. So are there better women wrestlers that she just vibed with better? Because you're right. There's been, since she has come into AEW, there has not been one match that I've been like, I need to see this Mercedes match, other than her debut, because I wanted to see what she looked like. But outside of that, I haven't been invested like I was in WWE. So maybe it's her partners.
I thought Britt Baker was going to be that one. You would have thought, just something's off with Britt. I don't know what it is, but if it was 5 years ago, that Britt Baker originally, when they first started AEW, like, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something's off. I think she was pulled from TV the other day. I think there's something still going on there. Maybe she's not all the way healed up or back, but I don't like this. And sometimes to me it sounds stupid, but to me the music sometimes makes a wrestler. Like, you take away, like, I don't know, Trick's music, you take away Joe Hendry's music and his intro and it, like, his character. Like, I'm just not a fan of the CEO thing. Like, why are we chanting CEO in the entrance? Like, if the fans want to chant that, that's fine. I guarantee it right now. If you were to say, okay, she has permission to use Sasha Banks, and she comes out with that, I'm popping a lot more than I'm popping right now for this CEO gimmick. So I don't know if that's just the only thing it's it, but it's just, to me, that's a big deal to me, because if I like someone's entrance, then I'm ready to see them wrestle, and it just kind of gets me ready for that match.
See, I'm gonna disagree with that because I like I don't know about her gimmick, but I like the entrance. I get excited about the CEO entrance, but I'm not excited about her matches. So I actually like her entrance, but I don't like where it's translating in the ring. But and also on her entrance on this one, I wish it would have overlapped with Okada leaving because of how they've teased them in the back, and I thought that'd have been funny if he was leaving while she was coming in. But the most interesting thing about this match, and I think I mentioned to y'all in the group chat, and is Shivani and Taz were just going at each other. Like Taz was angry, Shivani was angry, and they, especially during this match, they were going at each other. And that was the only thing interesting in this match because otherwise, like I didn't care what was going on in the ring, and so.
Yeah, there was something that was going on with at the commentary desk. I'm not sure what it was, but I think Bret, you make a point that the music has a lot to do with it, but also like with the CEO thing, why is it piped in? Like if the crowd wants to do it, let them do it. But why? And maybe the first couple times she comes out to get, that's what we want y'all to do, and then cut it out because it sounds piped in like you're trying to, like she can't get over by herself. I don't know. I don't know what it is with Mercedes. I was the biggest Sasha mark when she was in WWE, and now I couldn't care less if she was on TV. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I don't know what the magic fix is. I don't know what the solution is. But it's not working. It's not working. And I don't even think, Bret, you said bring back her Sasha music. I don't even know if that would help, honestly, because it's not Sasha. Like,
yeah.
And maybe she is so WWE branded, like in her promo style and all that we just can't see her in another company. Like even if she's trying, like it's just not the same. I don't know, but it's not just us because there's a ton of people that have fallen off the Mercedes bandwagon since she came into AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably all I have for that one. These last two matches, guys. Ooh, man. You got Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson for the world title. I thought this was an interesting pairing. Now, have they officially said when Danielson loses that he's retiring? Because I keep feeling like they keep saying that, but I can't remember him actually coming out and saying that. Has he come out and said that? I just missed it.
I think he did say that. I think he said that once he loses this title, he's done.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember him specifically saying that. They keep mentioning it. But honestly, the match was fine. But all I'm ever going to remember about this match is Bryan Danielson at the end with a plastic bag over his head, guys.
Like, you mean the attempted murder?
Oh my gosh! Well, we have some wrestlers that are going to be arrested. AEW, we've had some a house burned down. We've had an attempted murder lately. I'm not sure where the jurisdictions are, but man, I just didn't see it coming, guys. And I knew Moxley had something, with this group. It's kind of the thing that I'm kind of interested with right now. So interested to see how it all turns out. We've had our theories, but when I didn't know Claudio was going to be in this. So now you've got, I assume that it's Pac is involved because he was holding back Wheeler Yuta. I guess Yuta's not going to be involved in this little group. Now so far,
but they're still the trios champions.
Yeah, he's still in. That'll be interesting to see how they do with that tonight. I'm sure that'll be addressed or some kind of something.
We're gonna have another tournament.
Yeah, drop the trios. I don't know, but here's the interesting thing. All these wrestlers so far are ex WWE wrestlers. As far as I can, right? You've got Cesaro, you've got
Neville.
Dean Ambrose, all these WWE names.
Neville.
You've got Pac, you've got Marina Shafir was over there. Well, Neville, yes, Neville. Yeah. The man Gravity forgot. Yeah. So it is interesting. Is this going to be some kind of invasion type angle? I don't know. You've got the Shane McMahon rumors. That's who I think's running the show. And I think that would be entertaining. But the match itself was fine. Jack Perry actually lost, and he's a member of the Elite. So I know that's the first loss for them in quite some time. Of course, you had the Young Bucks come out. I thought it was interesting that the Young Bucks didn't actually fight the Blackpool Combat Club. When they ran them off, they just ran them out. So I don't know if they're in cahoots or if what's going on there. Who knows? Because they were talking. Moxley was talking to the Bucks in the back. Was it last Wednesday?
Yeah.
When they were kind of talking. So I don't know what happened there, but man, I've watched wrestling a long time, guys. I've seen blood. I've seen that look brutal. Like they sold that. I don't know. What did you guys think of the brutality of this match and the end there?
Yeah, the match was okay, but it was the after that really, what we were excited about. But before we even got to what we just talked about is Luchasaurus coming out, wiping out Danielson and teasing the Christian. Christian was about to
It's true.
His cash in, and then that's when Claudio and them stepped in front, and then that's when Moxley comes with him. You're like, wait, is Moxley still in this group? Because Moxley hadn't been with him, so Moxley being out there was like, okay. Well, then it's like, okay, Moxley's about to do something. Who's Moxley going to take out first? Because at the time we don't know Moxley's with who he's with. We think he's just turning, and then you see Claudio deliver the uppercut, and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, did you see the replay where
the plastic bag, and then you see Pac holding back Wheeler Union? Like, whoa, just what's going on here?
Did you see the replay, Brandon, where he kind of not looked at him and did this right here?
Yeah.
So he didn't really raise his hand at the end. Moxley was kind of around the back of the group, and he walked around front and gave Claudio this that, and he took him out.
But it caught me off guard. I was like, because I was expecting a Moxley turn either that night or soon. But then when they all did it together, it's Kyle. Like I know sometimes on Wednesdays you have Dynamite running. Do you deny it or?
He does. Yeah, he does because I can see it. He's like this.
Okay, no spoilers, but I mentioned. But have you seen? Because it's almost 9, and they might not even do the main event until 9:05. But have you seen characters from the story? Have you seen characters from the storyline on the TV tonight?
I will say good news. The main event gauntlet match has already started. And it appears to be about midway through. Yes, to your point, there is development with Moxley and that thing going forward.
I'm interested to watch that tomorrow. Like I want to see where this goes.
There's another development tonight too that you're really gonna love, Brandon.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready. I might go find it now.
I'm watching tonight. When we get done, I'll stay up late.
What I'm telling you is right before the main event. So around 8:20 ish is what you'll really love. It's what we've all been asking for, and I think it's finally happening. Now again, remember it's muted, so I can't hear what's going on.
I'm excited.
There we go.
Kyle's got me. My wrestling fatigue.
But so this, the match was fine. I thought the match was good. I think it was probably one of the better Jack Perry matches that we've seen because he's in the ring with Danielson, one of the greatest of all time. So of course he's like Danielson's like Ospreay. They're not going to have a bad match ever. There will never be a bad match in the history of Brian Danielson. Brian Danielson. Now JR. I don't know
either one.
But the match was good. But yeah, afterwards, I'm with you. Like once Luchasaurus came down and then Christian, I said, "Oh no, is this how Brian's career ends? Like, what is going on?"
Yeah.
And then the Blackpool Combat Club came out there as like his security. I said, "Okay, but wait, this doesn't make sense because Moxley's turning." And then everybody's raising hands, and you see Moxley just pacing. I said, "Okay, here it comes. What's Moxley going to do?" Then it was Claudio. You're like, wait a second, that's different. And then, sure, Pac was holding back Yuta, but Yuta wasn't trying very hard to get there either. They're more just kind of standing there holding each other than Pac really kind of holding him back.
They were dancing.
Yeah, they were doing something. But
Yuta was not in on the plan. It didn't seem like.
No. For sure, he's not involved, and maybe he was thinking like, "What am I gonna do? Get stomped out by Pac, Moxley, and Claudio? Like, what? That's a terrible idea."
He ran over to him after they all left, and he let go. He ran over to Danielson.
I don't think
Danielson's the one who brought him in.
Yeah, I don't think Yuta's in on it at all, for sure. But yeah, it is a former WWE stable that is forming, and it's probably run by McMahon. So
except Danielson got left out of it.
Except Danielson got left out, which is also weird.
Well, he doesn't like WWE, remember, because they wouldn't clear him. I don't know if that's really.
I had a puzzled look because Marseille and Mansour, whatever, they're out here in this gauntlet. Anyway,
now they're called like Mason and something. Mason and Mansour, I think.
What a terrible gimmick.
Remember we had MXN collection.
I'll tell you what, anyway. everybody was better off out of that gimmick. Maxine Dupree is far away from that. She's actually entertaining now. Like I like her in their little group. Of course, LA Knight, we know that's way better. So that was a
I don't
disaster.
know if everybody's better off because Mason.
It can't be worse than that.
Y'all don't watch Collision Rampage, so y'all missed their little backstage segments that they, especially the ones with the Acclaimed and the finger stuff.
Are they still acting goofy? Well, I hadn't seen them.
Go find it. I can't even explain it on here how it's.
Anyway, so the attempted murder by John Moxley after the match was that was interesting. The longer he held that bag on there, I was like, okay, dude, like we get it. You're gonna kill this guy. Like let's now I'm sure it had holes in it somewhere that I don't know. I'm sure they didn't just wrap this man's head in a plastic bag for over a minute. I'm sure there was something that was gimmicked in that. But it's quite the turn, and I'm with both of y'all. I'm interested to see where this goes going forward. What is Moxley? What's the end goal? Like he's been very cryptic. Like he hasn't stated exactly what he's doing. He's been very cryptic about everything.
He doesn't like Darby Allin. That's all we know.
He does not like Darby Allin. That's for sure. But why? Like that's the thing.
He's not WWE. Why? He's an AEW original.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But then why did he suffocate Bryan Danielson? He's a WWE guy.
I don't know.
He's not AEW original, but I don't know. Anyway, it was a good match though. But the attempted murder at the end of this match paled in comparison to anything that happened in this next match.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah. This was just brutal. These last two matches were the end of that one, and then we rolled right in. I was like, surely we're not going to see anything more brutal than someone getting choked by a plastic bag. But yeah, the lights out match where it's interesting where they cut the lights out, and then all of a sudden AEW is not responsible for anything but you have an AEW referee in there. So I don't know. I always think
that was trying to stop things. Like it's a lights out match. You're here to just count it. That's all I need you to do. Don't stop me from doing anything. Like what you should be in the background until we need you. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that was interesting. Here's a comment that I found online that I think is funny. It says, it's not often you get 2 attempted murders on one show, but here we are. I'm just going to go straight to it. The spot of the night, I thought the first spot on the brick cinder block was brutal, but that second one, he slammed him right. You can't fake that, guys. I mean, like, how do you not break your back on that? I mean, you saw the mark on his back, like, oh my goodness. And then we had stapling pictures on Paige's chest. I mean, a staple gun. I mean, they just doing it like it's nothing, but I feel like that would hurt. I've never stapled myself, but I don't think that would feel real good. Um, the gear was cool that Swerve had. He had pictures of his house on his gear. I thought that was kind of cool. And we mentioned this briefly, but so many crimes committed here lately. It's cool just to go burn someone's childhood house down. I guess that's okay. Guess we don't want to make Hangman mad. Man, this was just so brutal. Anything you could think of that would be brutal and painful, they did in this match. I just don't know how they did the cinder block spot. That was just like, it made me cringe. I was like, no, they're not about to do that. Someone's reversing this, and then he slammed him on it. I've never seen that particular spot. Have you guys seen that before?
I mean, we've seen we've seen curb stomp on cinder block in WWE one time, but nothing like that. Nothing, not a dead eye on the cinder block.
I mean, yeah, you can't fake that. Like, he hit the cinder block.
Well, and even the cinder block that Swerve used on Keith Lee a long time ago in AEW, though, where he did the Swerve stomp through Keith Lee's chest, that cinder block disintegrated. It wasn't a real cinder block. This sucker, this was a real cinder block. This thing was not gimmicked. I don't think it may have been, but I don't think it was gimmicked. It looked like a real cinder block.
Was it supposed to collapse and it didn't? Because it sure didn't budge.
No, that sucker didn't move.
Yeah, this is a fun match. So, yeah.
I don't know what you can say about this match. It was uncomfortable. Like, I was uncomfortable. I understand what it called for. I get it. Like, this is the type of match it should be if with all the hate and vitriol these two have. But at some point, like at the end of that match, I was saying, what else can you do than literally killing this man to end this match? Like, they're kicking out of everything, or like.
I guarantee you, who would love this match? The Professor would have loved this match.
Dude, but that you talking about the Deadeye spot, that was bad. But the one that hurt me was the Swerve power bomb, just straight. I mean, you could break your back that way, like that just. And then none of us have mentioned this yet, but we have a broken piece of wood from the burning house that they're trying to stab in each other's eyes. Then, if that's not enough, let's go ahead and get a hypodermic needle and stick it through this man's
that's the
jaw.
one. I had to turn my head. I couldn't watch it. Like that needles bothered you.
Bro, what are we doing? And then to follow that up with one of the most vicious chair shots I've ever heard in my life.
A lot of unprotected chair shots.
Oh, dude. So, like, what are we doing? I get it.
And he pulled his grill out.
Yeah. I mean, we could have called this fight to the death match, and I would have believed it.
Yeah, I don't want to see Swerve for a while.
Well, and so I also don't want to see Swerve for a while. I don't think we should see Hangman for a while. Spoiler: he shows up on Dynamite. He should not be on TV.
Arrested. He should have been arrested.
He should
go to jail. He should go to jail. Like, they could use as a storyline. He burned someone's house down. How can you explain to me? I mean, this has to, at some point, you have to make it where it's realistically believable, right? He burned someone's house down and he didn't even face charges, and he admitted to it. He did it all
where it's believable.
I mean,
we've gone to the point now where we're sticking needles in people's mouths in the middle of a wrestling match. Like, that's not even wrestling. Like, I'm all for chair shots, tables.
This is like ECW, like extreme
stuff. All that's cool, but
this may have been worse than GCW, guys. You ever seen any GC, like they do the lights, they hit them with the light and all that kind of stuff. Everything goes. But this was extreme, like,
and I love brutality. Like, I enjoy the brutality, but to me, this took it a step maybe too far. I think they went a little too far in this one. Now, I know they had to agree to all this stuff, and it was one hell of a match. It was brutal. It was everything that it needed to be. But it's obviously not the end of this. So what else are they gonna do? Like,
And
what else can
come out
you
looking
do?
strong, right? I mean, because they both going through this entire match, and it took Swerve getting like needled in the mouth and then hit straight with a steel chair shot to take him out.
So in the next match, they're gonna have to have another match, right? So what stipulation can you put on it other than a lights out match? Like, that should have been the blow off. That should have ended it, but it's not. There's so much going on.
Fight to the death match.
It's like Celebrity Deathmatch that used to come on MTV. Like, it was, insane. I've never seen a match like it, and I would be okay if I never saw a match like that again. I thought their Texas Death Match was brutal, and then they one-upped it. So what are you going to do to one-up this? I don't think you can, and I don't want to challenge them to do it because I want to see these guys around for a long time. Swerve just inked a new deal, and he's out there taking power bombs on cinder blocks and needles in the mouth. What?
Hey, he's getting paid either way, right? I guess. He may not live through the entire contract. That's not even being that serious. That's like, because it was like a 8-year deal or something crazy, wasn't it? It was a really long deal, I believe.
I don't know how long it was, and I don't know how much money it was, but not enough to go through what he went through in that match. And the staples, he's just pulling them out like it's nothing.
Those staple guns put out some force. Like, no, thank you. But man, overall, this card was incredibly entertaining. There was a few lulls, but not bad. I mean, I overall, I love the card. Excited to see where they're going with some of these stories. We had some good stories coming in, but we've got they've turned them into some new stories going out of it. You've got where Statlander go from here. You got the Moxley group. You got Hangman now. He's almost killed Swerve. Where's he going next? MJF's out of action. Where does Daniel Garcia go? Lots of good stories that we've possibilities, and they've got some time now that we've got these 2 quick pay-per-views. Like you mentioned earlier, there's not another one for about a month, so you've got a little bit of time between this to see where these are going. I think we got Bad Blood October 5th.
3 weeks, yeah.
So we got another 3 weeks till we have our next show. That'll be our 35th off the ropes on the next one, guys. Man, we're getting up close to that 50 mark. We're gonna have to have something special for that number 50. Maybe one of these days we can get the guys back all on here. Have a full roster. I know during football season it's tough for everybody to get their wrestling caught up, but I'm glad we're still able to do these a little more than we normally are able to, with our schedule being a little bit more open on Wednesday nights this year. But yeah, just a lot of good wrestling come up. I'm excited to see. We talked a little bit about it. We got Monday Night Raw, October 7th, I believe, is going to go to 2 hours. And then Netflix, I think I heard it's going to be 2 hours commercial free, which that means more wrestling with no commercials. I'm good with that too. This week's SmackDown is going to be 3 hours, and there's supposedly going to be lots of surprises and things that'll be interesting. So I'm excited to come home after the football and stay up late and watch some wrestling Friday night. So we got lots of big things coming up. Anything on these particular topics that you guys find interesting or like or don't like?
I'm looking forward to seeing all the changes.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm liking that Raw is going to 2 hours. 3 hours is a lot to watch, and you get a lot of fluff and filler on there. I think with 2 hours, you're going to get more focused television, which is only going to make the product better.
I've got to get caught. The one thing I'm not caught up on is NXT. I've got a couple weeks behind on it.
Actually, I watched last night's, but
yeah.
I actually sat there and watched last night's with Mom and Pops at their house. It was a very good episode. Very good episode.
We hadn't watched it.
NXT.
I'm getting into it. I'm getting back into NXT. I'm enjoying
and then like that start of October, like I'll probably want to watch it because the day before we do that next show is they're going to CW and Punk's going to be on one and Orton's going to be on the other. So
Miz is going to be I think I want to say at the Chicago one, the debut with Punk. I think Miz is going to be there too. They announced that last night.
Yeah, and they're going to be traveling a little bit more, which is interesting. I like where it's going. There's a lot of good characters, a lot of good young talent. And I think the more you watch it, Kyle, you'll start to see some of what we're talking about with
I will say I am terrified of Jordan Grace. She is a brick house. I am my mom goes, I wouldn't want to be in an alley with her. I said, I'd want to be in an alley with her and her on my side. She is, golly, man. She's a brick house.
Yes. But I like the TNA crossover that they're doing I think that's been good for both companies. I like what they're doing with that. There's a lot of good wrestlers coming over, getting some. I think they're bringing the titles over and go crossing back and forth. I really like what they're doing with that particular thing in the stories. But yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of time off between the next episode. What are you guys looking forward to over the next couple of weeks besides having the Wednesday off?
Storylines. Build some stories going into these next pay-per-views. I will tell you tonight on Dynamite, they kind of set up Grand Slam, which is in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a banger show. A lot of stuff happening on that. So
when is Grand Slam?
2 weeks from tonight.
25th?
I guess that's 2 weeks from tonight. I don't know exactly.
It's actual Dynamite, yeah. So it'll be
yeah, it'll be a banger show though. But
we'll have being able to watch that before we come on the next time. So
yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to is just seeing how they build towards this next stuff. I'm excited. I'll tell you on the WWE side, I'm excited to get Roman back, and I want Paul Heyman back. I want Jimmy Uso back. Let's get that start going because I'm sick and tired of seeing the bloodline, this fake bloodline, the Temu bloodline out here. Let's get the robots back.
What did y'all think about Cody Rhodes trying to give not Solo the shot?
I liked it.
Jacob Fatu. That was interesting.
But we need to do that. We don't need to do that yet. Let's save that for later. But eventually,
I know that was interesting that he
caught him.
Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, how long is Fatu gonna play second fiddle to Solo? That's another story that at some point.
I like when Fatu talks too. He doesn't say much. All he says is, "Solo, I love you.
I love you."
but I do like when he talks.
Yeah, it is. But all right, well, that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Off the Ropes, episode 34. We talked a little bit about AEW All Out. Tune in a few weeks. We'll have, I guess coming up will be Bad Blood. Got a few matches already on the card. I'm excited about the matches we have coming up on the card, guys. It's going to be I think a really good show. We'll have maybe some guys like Roman return and some other people on the
Metro
card.
Boomin.
Yeah, Metro Roman.
Wait, I mean, it's gonna be a big. It's in Atlanta. It's gonna be in Atlanta. It's gonna be some hip hop influence. So
yeah, should be a good one. So for the Big Oos, KO Kyle Owens, for Dirt Sheet Brandon Ogden, I'm Bret Swinney, Mr. NetSN, signing off. We'll catch you next time for Off the Ropes. Good night, everybody.
We're living together. still is fair.